Hi guys, Amiya here and welcome to Want to Learn Programming. This is the 8th video in the series Basics of C Programming. In this video, we will look at some important input and output commands that are used in C programming. So, input and output commands are classified into two types. The first one is called as unformatted IO commands or statements, and the second classification is formatted IO commands or statements. Now, let's look at both of them in brief. Unformatted input output statements is a simple way of input output statement, and it's a compacted way of storing data. It performs input-output in forms of characters and string. Some of the examples of unformatted IO statements are getChar, putChar, getS, and putS. Now, let's see what formatted input-output statements are. Formatted input-output statements are most commonly used as IO commands. These use standard input device and standard output device for their functions. The examples of formatted input output statement commands are scanf and printf. Now, as we saw here that basically formatted IO statements are used a lot. So now let's look at each of the formatted IO statements. First, let's look at the input command scanf. Scanf, as we saw, is a formatted input statement. The syntax or the way of writing a scanf command is this: scanf format specifier and then followed by arguments. The different format specifiers are %C is used for character inputs. %D is used for integer inputs. %F is used for floating point inputs. %LF is used for double inputs. %P is used for pointer inputs and %S are used for string inputs. These format specifiers are mentioned in this page while reading from user using scanf command. We will look at %P and %S in other sections of this course, but right now we will focus on the other four format specifiers. Now let's look at some examples for scanf and learn how to write a simple scanf command while writing a C program. The arguments that are passed with the scanf statement or command are list of variables to which the user input has to be assigned. We saw in the previous slide that the syntax had an arguments which had to be passed. So these arguments are list of variables to which the input received from the user has to be assigned. Please note that the variables are prefixed with an ampersand. Now let's look at a few examples of using scanf so that we can clear our doubts regarding scanf statement. For example, if I have int a and I have to receive an input from user and assign that value to a, then this is the scanf command. Scanf %d. %d, as you remember, is the format specifier for integer and ampersand a. So what this does is this receives integer input from the user and assigns that value to a. For example, if the user gives an input of 2, then a will be equal to 2. Similarly, for character, if we declare a character of name ch1, then the write scanf statement to receive character input from the user and assign to ch1 would be scanf %c ampersand ch1. Now let's look at an example where multiple inputs can be received from the user. In this example, I have declared two float variables m and n, and this scanf statement is used to receive the two float input from the user and assign to n and m respectively. Please focus on this respectively word because the first input that you receive from the user will be assigned to m and the second one would be assigned to n. Now, let's look at an example where all three kinds of input can be received from the user. This example shows where is used to receive one integer, one character, and one floating point input from user and assign them to A, B, and C respectively. So here you can see that %d format specifier is linked to ampersand a, which is an integer variable. %c is with respect to ampersand b, which is a character, and %f is with respect to c, which is a float variable. So if you like this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. In the next video, we will look at some output command, that is the printf function, and we will also look at a basic input output program which can be written. Thanks for watching.